What's going on, guys? So today I want to talk to you guys about my take on intermittent fasting while you're bulking. Now, I know there's a lot of studies out there and YouTubers as well that say that intermittent fasting is a great way to minimize your body fat while you're bulking, and it can just end up being more beneficial. Now, I don't want to say that that's not necessarily true, but in my experience, it is hard. It is exceptionally hard to eat that many calories. For some people, it might be super easy. They might even have to eat over 3,000 calories. But for myself, to continually gain weight, I'm eating 3,725 calories. If I have less than that, some weeks I'm actually losing weight. But for the most part, I'm pretty much maintaining that. It could be because I'm overly active when I'm not in the gym. I don't know. But regardless, 3,725 calories in pretty much 8 hours was exceptionally hard. There was times where it was doable and it was easy, but I found that was only because I was eating unhealthy foods, not stuff like McDonald's or like Burger King or anything like that. Just it wasn't exactly the cleanest foods out there. It was kind of like I was throwing in French fries, even though they were homemade fries. I was adding olive oil on them, so they more or less became deep fried in a certain sense, just to more or less get calories in without actually feeling like I'm eating these calories. I was going to bed super bloated. I was waking up gassy in the morning. My girlfriend even noticed, Carly, she even found that I was farting a lot more, an exceptional amount more. Granted, she kind of accepts that I fart a lot, being Crohn's disease and whatnot, but still, it was just not exactly the greatest experience. Waking up and not eating, I had no problem. My window was typically 12:30 or 1 o'clock to 8:30 or 9 o'clock. And then there were certain days where I even extended my window to be 9 hours, and I found that even adding that extra hour kind of made no difference because I was still super full from my previous meal. Eating my breakfast, I had no problem eating roughly 1,000 calories to 1,200 calories at once. But then when it came to eating my lunch, unless I was active previously beforehand, which most days I'm working out in the late afternoon or the evening, it doesn't make it possible for me to eat a huge meal and be satisfied with that. So in saying that, eating my second meal, I found that I was more or less kind of bloated for the rest of the day, and then my third meal would suffer, and my post-workout meal would suffer as well. It wasn't it wasn't all bad though. This is probably the best thing that I found related to it was waking up and not eating breakfast, because usually after I eat breakfast, I'm super queasy. I don't know if other people that have digestive problems feel the same way, but I found that the moment I'd eat breakfast, I would start feeling like crap. It didn't matter what I ate, didn't matter how much I ate, I just started feeling like crap. It, it so by not eating breakfast per se, or not waiting or not eating immediately upon waking up, I found that that played the greatest benefit for me. As for overall body fat limiting, maybe because it was only 4 weeks, I didn't notice too much of a difference. I still gained weight more or less at the same rate as before, but my workouts became a lot more intense. I guess you could say that could also be attributed to the fact that I'm now tracking every single lift that I do, not just my major lifts, and saying, "Oh well, I did this much this week, I think. So next week, I think I'll do this much." Now that I'm actually focused in and zoned in on every little detail, it's a lot more specific. With that in mind, recall that I said to you guys that I wanted to hit 2 plates on front squats. Well, yesterday I hit 2 plates on front squats. I did a rep and a half. And for me, I know that's, for most people, that's not a big accomplishment whatsoever. But squats have always been hands down my weakest lift. So to hit 2 plates for a rep and a half at 192 pounds for me, although that's not exactly the greatest, I found that to be substantially awesome. That I could attribute that to intermittent fasting actually. I found that before I intermittent fasted, it didn't matter that I was pushing harder each week. I just could not get over the plateau. Maybe it was because I had to have those larger meals throughout the day. I didn't have to. It's just my meals magically became larger because I didn't have as much time to space them out and have as many little snacks type of thing. So maybe it's just the increased carbs in the meal before I work out that could be attributed to helping my major lift increase in that regard. Front squats were typically my first lift that I would do. So in this case, it worked out perfectly. And in the case of hitting 2 plates, it was definitely the case. I had roughly 70 grams of carbs about an hour before I worked out, and then another 20 grams of carbs half an hour before I worked out, half an hour, 40 minutes, give or take. So it was quite a bit of carbs within one in such a short window period. But when I went to the gym, I had zero problem lifting it. It lifting it per se wasn't the problem. It was more or less just coming back up for more reps. So I would say that that's attributed to intermittent fasting indirectly, not so much the fasting aspect itself. In terms of actual weight, like the whole more alert and getting more stuff done with your day, I would have to agree with that as well. I found that I'm spending less time in the kitchen. I'm spending less time thinking about food, aside from the fact of when I'm actually eating, because then I'm like, crap, I can't, I'm not even hungry. I'm too full to eat all this. But aside from those aspects, I am feeling that I'm getting a lot more accomplished with my day. I'm not just sitting around thinking about food, about what my next snack's going to be, what my next meal is going to be, if I need to hit my macros better or anything like that, because it's all pretty much set up for me, having these two or three large meals and then my smaller post workout meal, and then I'm pretty much done for the day. So, in that aspect, it works out great, especially when if you actually have a life and are doing more than just fitness in terms of working out yourself. You're like, as, in the sense that you're helping other people work out as well, and you might have like another job on the side. It works out perfectly. It's just the whole aspect of hitting that high of calories throughout the day made it difficult for me. You might be able to eat that kind of calories perfectly fine, and if you can, please by all means comment below and let me know how you guys are doing it, because I am overly bloated when I go to bed, and I'm pretty gaseous throughout the night until more or less I get out of bed. I'm farting more than I recall passing gas before, but that could also be attributed to the fact that I am having a little bit of fiber before I go to bed. I'm putting cashew cereal into my shakes post workout. So I find that the carbs do feel beneficial to my body. But other than that, guys, I don't want to keep you here any longer. Let me know what your opinion is on intermittent fasting. When I start cutting again, hands down, intermittent fasting will be added. But until I don't hit that 200-pound mark, I think I might have to either lay off on intermittent fasting or make my window anywhere from 9.5 to 10 hours, which almost kind of makes it not next to no point of fasting. But unless I'm unless something changes and I'm just magically having no problem metabolizing food, I think I might have to give the 8-hour window idea a break for now. But let me know what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Stay strong.